You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio. Howdy, partners, to another episode of All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on BQN and the Fandom Podcast Network. I'm the stranger of this town, Durango, played by Amy. And let me introduce y'all to Miss Annie, played by Kristin, and all other characters, played by Christos. Hello! Took me a minute to find my cowboy accent there. Kristin, how you doing?
I have no complaints over here. Just little old me sourcing some Klingon fire wine from those fancy people over at Kingsford's.
Oh my gosh. And Christos, how are you doing?
Y'all gonna get too much redneck hate mail. I can just see it now. And that's all I'm going to do.
Okay.
Right, are we done? Okay.
I'm great. I just got back from a long week of work, traveling for work. And so I am just very happy to be home for 2 days.
Yeah, it's busy season. I was just telling Kristin, like, there's something going on almost every night. I had my wine pickup. Oh, darn. That's, life is difficult. And then activities. There was lots of events and festivals going on right now. So very busy, busy time. Well, let's see about where did you find some Trek in the strangest places? This is our news segment, listeners. And we like to, as we're out there in the wild, as we say, where do we come across or makes us think about Star Trek? Kristin, let's start with you.
Well, I had Trek show up in a very strange place this week, my mailbox.
What?
And I have to give a shout out. He's not here today, but Calvin and James sent me a Deep Space Star Trek puzzle.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
So this
That's
showed up
amazing.
in Canada Post this week, and I was just absolutely blown away, and I haven't had a chance to write them separate and thank them, but I really wanted to feature it on the show that, we have a really good family here on All Good Things and the BQN. So, it's just, and sometimes those little things that just show up and just bring light into your life when someone's life can be a bit of a challenge, a struggle at times, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's why we need our Trek family and this chosen family. Yes.
Absolutely.
To lift us up. And it's just the craziest when you're feeling really low and then a random, unannounced text will come in. How are you? I miss you. What's new? And it's like, oh, I love that. So, and I remember when Calvin made that puzzle. That was quite a while ago, a couple months ago, wasn't it? He talked about it, remember.
Okay. I don't know if I remember that specific conversation, but all I know is Garrick's face right on the front of the puzzle. I was like, yes, this is perfect.
I remember it. I guess ours got lost in the mail, Amy.
Yeah.
I'm also an avid puzzler.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, so right now my Star Trek 6 The Undiscovered Country puzzle is going. And that's going to be tough because everything's just blue and pink. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I do them all the time. So it's sort of one of my big decompressors from the week.
When I start a puzzle, I get obsessed and can't do anything else until it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, been there.
Yeah. Well, so fun. Christos, where's Trek in your strangest places? That sounded weird.
Wink.
I'm going to wink, wink. I'm going to dial back to yesterday. I was traveling home and I had almost a 6-hour flight. So I watched a whole bunch of season 2 of Andor. And then I had still like another hour or two left. So I watched Star Trek Picard no-win scenario, which is one of my favorite episodes of, the ultimate Picard season 3. But I was watching it, and then the guy sitting next to me was like, "Hey, what are you watching?" And I told him, he's like, he had watched like Star Trek: The Next Generation as years ago, but had no idea about Star Trek Picard or any of that stuff. So I filled him in on a little secret. So I felt like I spread the gospel of Star Trek a little bit yesterday, and maybe turned on somebody else to getting back into the fandom. So that was
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, love those conversations. Love them. Yes,
Yeah.
preach.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I just wanted to shout out, I'm very excited to be next Saturday at Universal Fan Fest Nights. And Christos is going to be there. We're all going down to LA area, Universal. Very excited. A shout out to those who we already know are coming. We have AJ and Rico. We have Mario. We have Maurice. Oh, we have Rebecca and we have Dee. We have Tim. So, anyone else listening, please let us know that you're going to be there so that we can enjoy Universal Fan Fest nights with you.
I think it's shaping up to be quite the away team. Amy,
Yeah.
are you dressing up?
Oh, man, Christos, I have gone back and forth. I remember last week I said that I was going to dress up, but I don't really have an essential, like really good TNG. I mean, I have my scan from season 1, but as I heard, the actors or those guiding you through, they're going to be in Picard uniforms. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
Yeah.
take of them being in the museum. So it's it's all very season 3 Picard.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I've gone back and forth. My idea was to be the Counselor Troi red maroon jumpsuit that she wore in season 2.
Which you wear so well.
Yes.
Oh,
And
so
that you
maybe I
wear so
should just
well.
wear it.
Yeah.
All I
I
can
think
say is that the times that I've gone to these and have not dressed up, the regret
regret it.
kicks in when we leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
All
These
right.
are the strange opportunities in our life where we get to put
Well,
on a little
and Amy,
costume on Halloween.
let me make this a little easier for you. You're allowed to take all the photos and video you want. So you'll be in your Deanna Troi and you'll be on the Enterprise D bridge and you can get pictures of that. So how would you not want to?
Yeah.
Take it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to wear one of my Volante jackets, I think. I'm either going to wear the Picard season 3 one, or I might wear my old school Beverly, the very first one I got. That's like the TNG
Mhm.
blue one.
Yes.
Well, maybe I'll wear that one. I haven't worn that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Plus, we'll complement each other a little better. We'll be in the same era.
Yes, that'd be good.
All right. And
Ooh,
if you're planning on
pictures.
joining us, make sure you dress up too.
Yep.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Let's get on today's topic. Christos, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today?
Sure thing. We are actually doing part 7 of our holodeck malfunctions. It's TNG's A Fistful of Datas at season 6, episode 8, for all of you who are tracking along. The synopsis goes, after a computer malfunction, Worf, his son Alexander, and Counselor Troi are trapped in the Old West holodeck program, wherein the interactive characters physically resemble and have the same enhanced abilities as Data.
Ooh. So, listeners, I did dress up as Counselor Durango. We are now offering this video to all of our patrons. So, hop on over to patreon.com and you can see it, my little getup to be in theme to channel Durango here.
it's amazing.
All right. Yeah, thanks. All right. So this episode, I really, really like and believe that it gives us a chance to really love our characters. It's a breather episode. There's nothing major going on, just a little hijinks of the, computer program and in the
I mean, just
holodeck.
Worf getting shot on the holodeck. I mean, nothing big.
Right? It's so nice. And, we had talked about how newer Trek doesn't do this, but I have to say, Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks have done a great job in bringing back these inconsequential and these breather episodes back into Star Trek. So I, for one, am very grateful to be having these types of episodes in our new Trek.
Yeah. I always loved the breather episodes as a kid because, like you're saying, Amy, keeping up with the storylines every single episode and needing to digest so much content that they're putting into 45 minutes to an hour, it's a lot. I just want to sit back and watch people goof off in space. So, I know when I was a kid, these breather episodes were always the ones that I looked forward to the most. This one being probably one of my top favorite random episode. But it was also, after this one is Quality of Life, but then that leads us into Chain of Command, right? So it's kind of nice to have some chill episodes before we get to something as intense as
Yeah.
that storyline. So I think the way that season 6 was sequenced was just brilliant to help the watchers, relax and then, okay, buckle down, y'all. We're we're in for a
Right?
ride here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot lighter of an episode. It's, which is great. And, that's the benefit of old Trek having 26 episodes a season. They had space for this kind of stuff. Whereas, when you're only doing 10 episodes a season, you kind of got to keep it on business.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So we get to learn what our crew do on their off time. And I think they did it really well by keep interrupting Picard with requests while he's trying to have his enjoyment of playing the Ressican flute, which he got from Inner Light. So I love that little callback to season 5 episode.
And he also has a tapestry hanging in his quarters from Who Watches the Watchers.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the little Easter eggs of their journeys. These have happened to these people. They have memories and it's affected who they are as humans. So, and that's not an easy episode. Who Watches the Watcher, where he was made into that God figure.
Right. When you get to like season 6 and Star Trek can start to reference itself, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's little things like that. Like it's just, you don't even get an explanation, but it's definitely referencing itself.
Okay, so but the one thing that I've got about this, and I don't know if I should save this for regeneration, but I always took it as a personal insult, having been quite an accomplished clarinet player when I was in high school. When he changed the clarinet to oboe, I was like, "Excuse you,
Thank you very much."
What is happening here? I also played the oboe, but it was not nearly as good as the clarinet. And then later on in the series or in the episode, when they're like in the West, there's a lot of bass that comes out. Which, so, the woodwinds were heavily featured in this episode. I did enjoy that, but you never replace clarinet.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
I played the clarinet as well in middle school, and so I feel you on that. And I have the same reaction. Why would you
Excuse you?
Beautiful clarinet.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
You guys are going to be okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
I love that you get to see like everybody doing their thing. So Beverly is definitely doing her thing. And first off, I'm just going to stop and say 2 things. Beverly looks amazing in this episode. Her hair, she looks really good, and her hair is just that really nice, vibrant red, and it's just puffy, and it's her own hair in the season. So good for Gates McFadden. But you get to see Beverly exploring her love of theater, which goes way back to like I think season 3 and 4 is where we first see that. So this just kind of a throughput there. I love that where they're actually practicing the theater though it's the conference room, but just redressed. They took out all the furniture and added a curtain. I'm like, okay, I saw what you did.
I love it when how she approaches Picard to be in the play, and he automatically assumes it's Freed. And just when it comes out that it's only the butler, which is just 2 lines, And I was just like, never assume that when you're being asked to do something, you're being asked to be the lead of anything. Because sometimes your role is the
Yeah.
supporting
I
role.
mean, he's kind of a diva there because it's like, oh, I don't want to be in your play. What do you mean it's only 1 or 2 lines? Oh, I'm so hurt.
That's exactly how he is. And again, their chemistry between Gates and Patrick Stewart, just brilliant. And like when she's like, something for breakfast, because I'm thinking, oh, haven't they started their breakfast routine? It was just around this time.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
no.
I didn't know that was an actual play until doing the research. And I was like, oh, she's not talking about what they're going to have for breakfast. Oh, let's change it to croissants,
Yeah, no. Yeah, the breakfasts start in, like, season 3. So it's
Mhm.
because my favorite breakfast is in season 5.
Yeah, yes. A perfect mate?
Yeah, where she tells him off. I love that
Yep.
breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah.
How
As she
You
should.
know me. You know me, Amy.
Riker has very little to do, and it's surprising because I almost thought he directed this. However, Patrick Stewart directed this episode. Because what we see him here and there, and he's reading off some spot poem, or was it the recipe?
Oh, to Spot.
Ode to Spot while he was practicing for Beverly's play. Of course, he
Yeah.
was gonna. I'm sure he was the lead in Beverly's play.
Probably.
As he usually is.
Because
Yeah.
Frame of Mind, right?
Yeah.
When was Frame of Mind compared to this? Was this before or after Frame of Mind?
Frame of Mind is season 5, so
Okay, so this is way after. So
Yeah.
he's probably been her lead since then, and he proved that he can do
Yes.
that. He can do any play.
Exactly. So then Data and Geordi, for their fun time, they're going to mess around with the computer. So I think I like their idea, and this is sort of the crux of the episode. They want to help in case the Enterprise D's computer, that they're going to have a backup where Data can control the Enterprise in case of an emergency. Is this a good idea, Christos?
Well, first off, I feel like it's a throwback to Disaster because they plugged data into the computer to save the ship when the computer was offline. So I would have liked if they had maybe expanded on that and maybe referenced that episode to say, hey, that really kind of saved our butt. We should maybe make this more of a protocol and do some more testing around that. I think it would have zhuzhed together a little better what they were doing and why
Love
they were
that.
doing it. But that's exactly what I thought of was when they plugged him into the engineering computer, and that a season ago.
Yeah.
Wow, great call out. Oh my gosh, love it.
I wonder if this also sort of spurred eventual discussion on Voyager about the emergency command hologram, right? Where the doctor would go from the EMH to the ECH in case of disaster, where he would have the controls and the ability to support Voyager. So there's lots of talks about how technology can
Redundancies.
be effectively, exactly, to help people during disasters and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we see they don't always go smoothly.
I mean, it's kind of like that old trope. I put this in my assimilations, but it's kind of that trope of, yeah, we're going to plug data into the computer. What could go wrong?
I
Just
feel
when
the
people
same
happen
way.
to be on the holodeck.
I feel the exact same way about every time that someone decides to challenge the holodeck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, elementary, my dear data much?
Yeah.
Oh, make it
Yeah.
harder. Really? Is this what we want to do?
That's exactly what was done.
Yeah.
Because Worf's like, all right, you're under arrest. Come with me. And Alexander's like, no, it's supposed to be harder. Computer, increase the difficulty level to 4. And then that's what happened.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
It's also like a little throwback to the Big Goodbye because Worf gets shot the same way the historian guy gets shot. I mean, there's a lot of here and there's in this episode.
I love that. Oh, yes. All right. And then, of course, Worf, on his off time, wants to improve security, does everything except want to spend time with his son. Oh, you guys, it's so
Kind of sad.
this episode ruins his Good Father of the Year award. I mean,
he was never winning that award. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Like-
it only confirmed why he's not the best father. Like,
I mean,
he's
I know they try-
literally doing everything he can to not spend time with his son. It's awful.
yeah. And it's like, I know it's played for a joke, but it's not a good joke.
It's not funny. And it's not like Alexander's asking him to do something stupid. He put together a really cool program. He worked hard. He got Barclay to help with it. He got Troi to come be a part of it. Like, there was so much energy that Alexander put in to try to find time to spend with his dad. And his dad would rather work. I kind of get the Alexander Worf relationship we see in DS9, where he's like, no, I'm not the son of Worf. I'm like, you know what? You're not. Because he was never a father.
Alexander the Unwanted.
That poor guy.
Yeah, but he does, to Worf's benefit, once he finally does do it, he quickly gets into it and enjoys it. And then the way the episode ends, he says they would do it. He would definitely do it again, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Do you think that they actually did it again?
Oh, no, I don't. But, like, I could see where the writers were trying to show him evolving on the idea. But yeah, it's pretty damn bad in the first part of the episode. You're like, wow.
Kalar's in Stovall going, what the heck?
Right.
That's our son.
No wonder he wants to take a mud bath with Laxwana.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wouldn't?
All right. So these malfunctions start popping up. So fun in this Deadwood program. I want to know, what was your favorite data popping up integration into the holodeck? Or what was something that you enjoyed about the Deadwood program?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Eli Holander shuffling the cards, because here's the deal. I noticed when I was watching the cards being shuffled that was not Brent Spiner's hands, because the amount of arm hair that is on the guy that's shuffling the cards is bonkers. It's like, and it's wearing they put all that white makeup over that guy's arm hair, and then it's, Data's head. And it's like, it took me out of, I don't know, but maybe, like I always say, this was never meant to be shown on a 75-inch TV and 4K and all these things like that when they filmed it. But I'm like, that took me out of the episode. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? And Kristin's laughing her ass off over here.
I can't stop. So Kristin's yes to everything you just said. Because you know how when in other episodes, people who don't know Data are asking him about like the different functions of him, and they're like, oh, well, I have stuff that, is my blood and the pores on my skin take measures of the environment around me. Does the arm hair serve a purpose? Is it like a cat's whiskers? It like lets you know if you'll fit. I mean, what is happening?
That was like Popeye arm hair, though. That was like,
and it was all white.
I'm so sad I missed this.
Oh, how did you miss it?
I saw it.
And watching it as a kid, I'm like, ugh.
I don't think I've ever noticed it before until today. It was
right?
Yeah. I watched it this morning and I was like, okay. And this is not exactly one of my go-to episodes, so maybe that's why I've never noticed it. But,
that arm hair has haunted my life for the last 30 years.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Amy, what is your favorite Data incarnation besides arm hair?
Yeah, it really has to be Miss Annie at the end. Brent Spiner really just plays it off perfectly. And their comedic timing between Dorn and Spiner at the end, and when Spiner puts his head on his chest and just looks up, I was dying. That was like perfect. Absolutely loved it. Kudos to them. But yeah, Miss Annie. And Troy's like, you have to finish the program in order for it to end. So that was great.
I liked the chest plate that Brent Spiner's wearing, his android chest plate, to give him it looked like he had It was funny. I was like,
Yes.
I
It'd been funnier if there was some cleavage like Troi.
Christos, do you think they got that from boobsforqueens.com?
I mean, or that boobsforqueens.com got inspiration because I think that was their first.
That touche. Miss Annie was my favorite too. Again, the comedy at the end was just hilarious. And of course, Worf would be very, like, this is not what I signed up for now. Also, apparently in an interview, Brent did say that that was his favorite iteration to play in the episode was Miss Annie. He enjoyed that more than any other one. So
Yeah. And then on the Enterprise, we see the Deadwood program being interjected. And really, the first one, when he does that tricorder slinging like the revolver that goes in his holster. Awesome. Do you think he did that like himself? Like
No.
Brent Spiner?
no.
I don't. I
No?
Love
think
Brent,
the same
but
way he
no.
didn't. It's the same way he didn't shuffle those cards, Amy.
Yeah. Okay.
Watch the arm spinning it. Is it really hairy? Maybe it's
Right.
not.
Okay. Yep. There's
He's wearing his.
sarcasm.
He's wearing his uniform, so you can't.
Oh,
tell.
darn.
Hmm.
Darn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a cat lover, I loved the scene with Spot, especially because I am going through the same thing right now where my cats won't eat their stinking food. So I get the whole like, well, maybe hunger will entice you because that's just what I'm doing. I'm like, if y'all would eat this when you're hungry then. And then the vamoose, you little varmint, was gold. Gold. Christos, what about
Yeah.
you? What was your favorite?
I'm guessing, like, with. I'm thinking about Brent Spiner, and he always talked about hating Spot episodes because of how awful Spot the cat was to work with. And I'm guessing when he kept on jumping up on his lap in front of the computer, that it had to have been that there was cat food or something on top of that computer to keep making that cat want to jump up onto Data's lap. So I'm just, part of me like does that, like, how did they do that? And that's how they must have done that.
Well, I'm sure any cat owner can attest, you wouldn't even need food. Cats somehow just want to be on the laptop at all times. So I'm just
There's
saying
something
it was a
about
very
keyboard.
natural for
Yeah.
that cat to
Yeah.
jump up again, because I have done that with my cats. Stay down,
Yeah.
pop, stay down, pop.
I gotta say, like, Riker in when he's reading the thing in Beverly's thing, he's like, well, that's what it says. And he's just kind of like, don't look at me. He's like, you're the commander of this ship. You should be a little concerned that there's problems. And, he, in the next scene, Beverly's the one down there talking to Geordi about it. But, Riker's not there. It's like, they could be having this whole beginning of a big malfunction on the ship. He's just like, I'm just reading what's in front of me. I'm just,
He's like,
I'm
you know
Riker.
he's Ron Burgundy from Anchorman.
Abe. Oh, yeah.
I don't know that.
Amy.
But I wonder, since you bring that up, Christos, if that is a little jab at the writers because the actors could not have had no input on changing lines. And it's very well known that they like, can we change? It was word for word.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if that's a little, well, this is what it says.
I do kind of like that. I like that. There's a lot of good stuff in this episode.
I think the one honorable mention I also want to give is the random spit into the plants.
Oh, yes.
Is so gross because like the spittoons and the chewing tobacco that are always featured on these movies, just friggin' disgusting. And so the fact that he just like hawks a lug into that plant, that always makes me laugh.
But what kind of makes that scene even better is that Riker and Picard are watching it, and they're just like, at this point, it's season 6. So the idea of data malfunctioning is not new to them. They're like, oh, data's malfunctioning again. Maybe you should go help in engineering. Like even like the way they kind of coax him down to engineering without even like forcing him down there.
And his lilt or saunter that he does, that so
He's wearing
Perfect.
spurs.
Yes. Well, let's get into our assimilations and regenerations. Kristen, let's start with you. Give us another one.
Oh, my assimilations. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think overall this is just a comfort episode of mine because I these were the movies I always would watch with my dad. We would always watch the Tombstones, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, right? Like so I've seen all of these movies as they were. So to see it then replicated onto one of my favorite shows of all time was just it was comfort on comfort on comfort. So I really
Mhm.
just absolutely love it. And I also do love that this isn't the first time we have seen Fistful of Dollars used in a famous franchise because it was also sort of the Back to the Future 2 and 3 used this movie as a lot of themes. So
Hmm.
yeah, Marty McFly has to do the same kinda, like, faux shield at the end,
Mm.
just like Worf kind of did, like Clint Eastwood did, so, yeah.
Okay.
Just overall, I'm not a country girl, I don't like country music, I don't like any of that, but I love gritty Western movies.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Christos.
Couple things. We've definitely hit on this, but I love the day in the life of the Enterprise element of this show. It's a little throwback to Data's day in some ways for me. You know, Picard practicing, Beverly's theater, all that stuff. Couple things happen in this episode. The very famous scene of meme out there of Gates McFadden doing the face palm happens in this episode. So Beverly face palming. And I also want to just say, call out to the very end of the episode where the Enterprise is flying and it goes into
Mm.
the sun. I thought that that was like a step up from the normal ends of TNG. And this is where by six, by season 6 and 7, they had the other model and they were starting to get us new exterior shots and not the same old shots of the Enterprise. So I thought it was a really beautiful ending to the episode.
Mhm.
That's also an homage to the Western theme, though, because at the end of every Western movie, they ride off into the sunset.
Right.
So that's how that was mimicked here, that the Enterprise was their
Yeah.
horse.
Mhm.
Makes perfect sense now. I feel a little
Yes.
dense for missing that.
Like, yeah,
But I
writing
did
up.
know I did know enough that it was a special ending.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right, Christos. We're starting to see, the effects coming in. The exterior shots were always just breathtaking. I mean, again,
Mhm.
we were playing on NES at the time, so it's not like we were really big on CGI or graphics. So anything blew our minds. But at this point, the everything was just getting better and better.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, a highlight for me has to be Durango. She absolutely saves the day. I mean, Eli Hollander really had him, and here comes Durango. So, yeah, Marina Sirtis highlight. I just think it's a Marina Sirtis episode. And I like the idea of the program. I thought it was simple enough that it's like, okay, Alexander really could have created this. And he's like, no, Dad, the program is we're supposed to capture him and take him away. That's the program. Just follow, have fun. It just seemed very natural that a kid
Yeah.
would do this. So it just, perfect. And I really love the inside joke when Picard's saying that he can't act. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the slight tie-in that Deanna's father used to read Old West stories to
Right.
her.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually made good sense and it fit because he was human and
Mhm.
whatnot. And so I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It's not a stretch.
Yeah. All right, some regenerations, if there are any, Kristen.
Well, I think we've already talked about the fact that Worf is a absentee father who needs a good slap in the face. But also, I think the thing that's always bothered me is what was with that Game Boy?
Oh,
I mean, he's sitting there with this game thing over his, if he dropped that, have you ever dropped your phone when you're lying in bed? If he drops
Yes.
that, he's ending up with a concussion.
oh,
Forehead
those
player
Klingon
rise.
ridges.
There you go. Yes.
And I was like, I'm sorry, at that time, they already had portable Game Boys that fit in your hand. So why are we making them the size? Like, no, it just was so unnecessary. And again, kind of took you out of the fantasy of this being futuristic. Whereas, like, there's nothing futuristic about like a stone tablet that you're chiseling into or something.
Yeah, I totally saw that too today, Kristin. I thought the same thing. In retrospect, thinking in 1992 or 3, whenever this
Yep.
episode came out, maybe it didn't hit nearly as hard as it does now because, everything has gotten so much smaller for us. But, 30, 35 years ago, it might have felt a little different. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
but it did look like
Yeah.
it did look like a current day's kid's toy that had been redressed to look like it
It
was.
looked like an iPad XL in an Otter case. Right? Like, you could literally drop that thing from space and it's not gonna break.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Every time I saw him playing, I'm like, come on, man. Worf, get your kids some better toys.
M More piling on door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you, Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
I would say for me, and we've talked about this a little bit, at this point, it's season 6, so the idea of plugging data into the computer and nothing's gonna go wrong, and of course, this being part 7 of our holodeck malfunctions just kinda shows you that trope of holodeck malfunctions. So, this is where by season 6 and 7, TNG got a little repetitive and starting to doing the same stories. Although I do, overall, this is a minor, ding. It's a good episode. And the way they actually used it, not so much. I was never like really worried about the holodeck malfunction.
Right.
It was always more about everything else that was going on and kind of the comedic aspects of the episode that made it fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a little good and the bad there.
Yeah. The one thing I would definitely regenerate, they could just get rid of it, is the mentioning of Barkley in this episode because they're putting it off as like he's a perv because
Yeah.
there's this lady of the night as they're walking through the town and Worf's like, "What's this?" Because a kid should not be creating ladies of the nights. And it's like, who did this? Oh yeah, Barkley helped me with the program. Okay, well, with his previous things of the holodeck and the goddess of
Empathy.
empathy, I just didn't need to be reminded of that again.
You just don't like the way Troy's portrayed in that episode. That's all that is. I thought it was a complete throwback to that episode, the way
Yeah.
he had Gates and Deanna and Beverly were in those outfits
Yes.
and whatnot. That I thought it was a fun little touch. But I can see where, as a Troy fan, it's irking.
And did you know she was originally supposed to be the dancing saloon girl?
Yes.
She wasn't supposed to be the stranger. So again,
Yeah.
again, this is 2 episodes away from Chain of Command where we start to see Troi in uniform being taken a lot more seriously and really showing her intelligence and problem solving skills and everything over and above her cleavage. Right. So I found it interesting that up until this point, the writers still had this obsession with just trying to sexualize Marina. I was like, come on, guys, let's move on.
Yeah. That's a good point. I really liked it. Even back then, they realized it was better to have her be Durango
Yeah.
and not Miss Annie or whatever that
Yeah.
is. And because can you imagine us talking about that episode now? Oh, so good for them for
Ugh.
putting her, in what would have probably been a male role.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of an asexual role, right? It's just the stranger, Durango.
Right.
It's not really it's not really gendered. And so I don't mind that because it just shows that it's about the personality
Yes.
and the mysteriousness of the character as opposed to whatever. The only thing I'll say though is girl must have been smoking hot leather pants in that weather. Oh,
Yes, and I was reading it. The temperature when they were filming was super, super hot. That they were so worried because Data's makeup and Worf's makeup and his prosthetics and her in leather pants, which I'm sure back in the day were real leather, and they were painted on her. They were so tight.
yes. I have a pair of leather leggings, and the only time I wear them is in the winter because any no, I don't want to, no.
Well, let's get to some trivia. Now, there is a 47 reference, which we all love. C47 malfunction is the malfunction that distributes the cat food supplement on decks 4 through 9. There you have it.
This was Robert Hewitt Wolf's first contribution to Star Trek, but is more known for his episodes on DS9. I guess that would make sense because DS9 started shortly after this episode was produced. He came in with 2 stories, this one and one that wasn't used. See if you can recognize this premise. The unsuccessful pitch involved Picard and LaForge traveling back in time to the 20th century Los Angeles just before the Watts riots, a premise that was later developed into DS9 past tense. Well,
There you
well,
go.
well. I hope he got story credit for that.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it to the Bell riots from the Watts riots. I wonder if that's enough of a change that they don't need to give him credit, but
Oh, he's credited. Yeah, it's just
You have
he's an
to.
amazing writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That first got his start on TNG.
there we go. And of course, as we've talked about, this episode title is an homage to the Sergio Leone film A Fistful of Dollars, starring Mr. Clint Eastwood himself, the first in a series of what came to be called spaghetti westerns because they were produced in Italy by Italian filmmakers, which I find very interesting to see how Italians interpreted the concept and the idea of the Old West.
Yes.
The original title, was supposed to be The Good, the Bad, and the Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that.
So glad they changed it.
So glad they changed it, which of course was the title of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which if you have not seen, go watch immediately. It is such a good movie.
So, Kristin, I don't know can I put you on the spot? So we have the Fistful of Dollars is the first spaghetti western. Then we have the third, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Do you know the second spaghetti film?
If we're talking about specifically
Leone.
Sergio Leone, I don't.
Okay.
I could probably look it up. The only other one that I'll add to this there's 2 more that are sort of like quintessential for
Spaghetti westerns?
yeah, these they kind of like evolved the trope a little bit from just being kind of campy, but then there's Tombstone and The Unforgiven.
Right.
Those are both, again, I think they both have Clint Eastwood in them, and they're just so well written. And it's just the storytelling. The same reason that I love Trek so much is they had a vision and they ran with it and they really gave it their all. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, Wolf's story had originally Alexander attempting to bring Troi and Worf together romantically. Thankfully, Jerry Taylor noted that this was removed as it was felt that Worf's relationship with Alexander was becoming too similar to a contemporary soap opera or a sitcom. Quote, "That's the kind of story that you can see on the air anywhere. It's not an element of Star Trek I want to concentrate on. I think we just mined out all the stories about Alexander and Worf's problems as a daddy," end quote. Brian Braga also added, quote, "It felt false to me. This was a holodeck romp, and it should be light and fun," close quote.
Yeah.
They didn't hang on to that concept in season 7 because then they did put them together.
Yeah.
Too bad.
But not because of like the kid wanting the parents together.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Kristin.
I just want to go back. So, yes. So, A Fistful of Dollars was out in 1964. 1 year later in 1965 was For a Few Dollars More.
Ah.
It's just, and then after that was the classic, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Nice.
Good.
Sorry, Crystal, did not mean to interrupt.
That's okay. You are our local historian.
As long as I don't get shot on a holodeck.
We don't need that. We're not insured for that. Director Patrick Stewart remembered, "There is nothing I have done in my career anywhere that could match the amazing thrill of directing a Western." Despite Stewart's enthusiasm, he had little knowledge of the genre. Braga noted that this was ironic, but believed that it brought a freshness to the episode. Jerry Taylor recalled, "Patrick approached this with such zealousness. He went out and rented 2 classic Westerns every night. The next morning, he'd come in and tell us what great ideas he'd had, and we could always tell just what he had watched."
I bet that'd be fun. Oh, did you watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
I kind of wish that this still existed, but there is a deleted scene that features Worf nearly shooting himself in the foot after a quick draw lesson from Troi. Sirtis tried to blow rings of smoke as well, but he cut her off and he was like, "Don't be funnier than me." And then you see the one scene that did make the final episode where she just blows the puff of smoke in his face. And I wonder if that's her way of being like,
Mm-hmm.
So either way, she like you said, Amy, she stole this episode.
Yes. Yeah. Well, in this episode, Data notices Geordi LaForge is growing a beard, and the beard appears fuller in the next episode, The Quality of Life. Now, this was for his upcoming marriage, and that was October 3rd, 1992. And this episode, for your information, aired November 7th, 1992. All righty. Well, you guys, give me your final thoughts on this episode, and I really want to know who did it better. Listeners, we've got 6 previous episodes that we've covered. I'll read them off real quick. First one was TNG's The Big Goodbye, which we referenced. Second one, Lower Decks, I Excretus. Or you could choose Voyager's The Killing Game. Or you could choose Deep Space Nine, Our Man Bashir. Prodigy's Ghosts in the Machine, or another Deep Space Nine, Bada Bing, Bada Bang.
This is an easy one for me. Like, who did it better overall? I would say Fistful of Datas would be my number one.
Wow.
But out of the ones that we've already covered, Killing Game would be my favorite, mainly because this is the first time I'm going, Jerry Ryan can sing?
Yeah. So are you putting Fistful of Datas over The Killing Game?
I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Christos, what about you?
I'm down to Big Goodbye and Our Man Bashir as being my 2 tops here. Maybe I'm going to say Our Man Bashir, but I always will have that big love for The Big Goodbye because it was the original OG holodeck malfunction, and everything else kind of has been a take of that ever since. Like we just said, how this reminded me of that episode in a few different ways. So, so the OG thing is there, but yeah, Our Man Bashir. And what about you, Amy?
Oh my gosh. I am going, surprise, Bada Bing, Bada Bang, Deep Space Nine. I just love it. It's, yeah, super, super fun. But this one, close second, even over. Oh, I love it. They're all so good. Isn't this so great that we have this amazing series to compare and contrast all the different ways that a holodeck can malfunction?
And yet no one ever learned.
Right.
And I don't think we're done yet either, are we?
No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more episodes.
We could do an entire series just off of malfunctions on Enterprise D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristin. Whether you've got Xbox or Nintendo, check out Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. 2 episodes enter the arena, 1 comes out victorious. Join hosts Joe and Kevin and a guest as they debate which should win the Batleth battle. Grab your popcorn as you listen to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed, but should definitely check out. Hosted by Mark and Matt. Don your apron for The Food Replicator, where Matthew eats and drinks his way through the Star Trek cocktail and 3 cookbooks. Beam Aboard Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Steven. In order to not repeat it, listen to History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissy and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissy and Thad. Curl up with a good book and delve into beta canon with Peter, host of the online Trek Book Club on Twitter, and his new companion, Trek Book Club podcast. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Whether you're a member of Starfleet Federation or Planetary Union, go check out Union Federation, covering current Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Head over to YouTube and watch The View Screen live on Sundays, your Trek-inspired talk show hosted by Kelvin and Amy, with Season 2 starting in September for a 10-week run. Spill the tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with a LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea, Bev. And for our Patreon members, we have the Hive Mind with monthly script readings. Let's Fly, a Discovery reaction show. It's Green, a cornucopia of topics. Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio. Kristin, what are we going to be talking about next week?
Next week's episode is one of the controversial, maybe? And it is part of our Possessed series. It will be Voyager Vexus, where an encounter with a peculiar nebula leaves Chakotay brain dead. I think this is one of my usual skippers when I watch Voyager.
Yeah, this is another part 7. I mean,
wow.
This is pretty exciting now that we're getting to like part 7, part 8, part 9, to really see the similarities of these episodes across all the series. It's been really fun.
I also love just seeing the tropes that exist within the Trek world and how we have so much content to be able to pull 7 episodes into one series. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it really is. Well, listeners, we would love to hear what you thought of today's show. And there are many ways you can do this. You can join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. You can join our Discord server, which we have a link in our notes. You can follow our BQN feed on Bluesky to continue our discussion there. You can find the links and all of those invite codes on our show notes, and you can reach us at All Good Pie.
Blue Sky.
Okay.
Smiling.
We have also partnered. We have also partnered with our friends at the Fandom Podcast Network, where you can find us by searching their master feed. Links can be found in the show notes. So, Christos, where can people find you when you're not playing every character in a play?
So busy. I always like a one-man show or a one-woman show. You can find me on Bluesky and Instagram at either Greek Geek SD or at What's the T-Bet. You can find me in the Discord server and the Facebook group, the BQN Collective. So basically, you can get me almost anywhere. That's kind of good. And Kristin, where can people find you when you're not doing Android drag?
Android drag. Talk about full body paint. You can find me on Instagram at KStratz, KSTRATZ. And you can find me on Reddit at user Garrick's Fan Club. And Amy, where can people find you when you're not flipping into a hot pair of leather pants and walking through the desert?
Well, I do that quite a bit because I did recently purchase some faux leather pants, and I live in Las Vegas, which
you
is
live
a
in the
desert.
desert.
Yes. So, well, you can find me here in the network co-hosting Union Federation. We just finished up our character profiles for the Orville. That was super fun. You can find me on Bluesky at Counselor Amy. But my favorite place, Discord server and our Facebook group, the BQN Collective.
If you would like to help us keep all of our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. For just $1 a month, you can join our Let's Fly reaction show, script readings, and enjoy our special patron-only shows of It's Green and Amy's Math Moments. Visit patreon.com/BQN to get all the details and watch your messages.
If becoming a patron isn't your thing, you can still support the show by sharing our posts on social media, talking about it with your friends, or hitting the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leaving a star rating and written review. That helps others find the show.
At this time, we would like to thank our very own associate producers, Mahendran Radhakrishnan and JJ Seastrom. A special thanks to Graham Kelly and Kelvin Wood for our artwork and our music. We really appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
We hope you'll join us as we search out
All good things.